Over the last 200 years, Bible societies around the world have carried the scriptures to the four corners of the earth. We have embarked on a mission of sharing the Bible's sacred text in thousands of languages and diverse formats. In 1946, against the backdrop of a broken world marked by two devastating world wars, a moment of hope emerged. A small group of Bible societies came together with a shared vision. They sought to strengthen the bonds among themselves, fostering reconciliation and instilling hope. In the words of the founding members, this conference has been called for the purpose of pooling our knowledge, of thinking and taking counsel together, believing that in union is strength. These shared values formed the foundation for the United Bible Societies. The delegates' legacy of cooperation and commitment to reconciliation forged a path towards a united future. In the subsequent years, as Bible societies continued to grow in collaboration, they also expanded in mission. In the 1950s, a transformative shift took place within the United Bible Societies. A new approach to Bible translation emerged. Instead of relying on translators from other cultural contexts, Bible societies started collaborating with native language speakers. These were invited to serve as primary translators and become integral members of the translation teams. In the 1960s, the world's population experienced an unparalleled growth trend with an annual increase of 50 million people. Recognizing the immense responsibility that lay ahead, the Bible societies united again around a bold initiative. They saw the need as well as the opportunity to radically expand Bible distribution to serve the people of the world. Thus, the global campaign, God's Word for a New Age, was born. In just a decade, through the collective efforts of the Global Fellowship of United Bible Societies, the distribution of God's Word grew from 29 million Bible texts to 171 million by 1971. In the mid-1980s, another milestone emerged. Bible societies came together to support the launch of Amity Printing Press in China. This powerhouse of production has since printed more than 200 million Bibles for China and countries around the world. In the 1990s, the collapse of the Iron Curtain opened doors for Bible ministry across Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union. The fellowship launched an unprecedented appeal, which led to the delivery of tens of millions of scriptures to former communist countries. Local Bible societies were also established in countries where God's Word was once restricted. This marked the triumph of faith over adversity. Opportunities also led to innovation. United Bible Societies worked with ministry partners to develop Paratext, an innovative software application for translation. This tool, used by over 10,000 translators globally, enables translation work that is more effective and of higher quality. Throughout the last 2 decades, the Fellowship continued to adapt, responding to the rapid changes and increased needs of the global church. Bible societies have been able to work together through projects such as the Digital Bible Library to harness the power of new digital technology and online accessibility. This work has resulted in expanded Bible translations in diverse formats that meet the needs of an ever-changing world. In the past few years, the world has gone through many changes: a global pandemic, escalating conflicts, and the results of the climate crisis. Into these multiple contexts, the United Bible Societies has sought its collective voice to bring the good news of the gospel of Christ even amidst such turmoil. With resilience and unity, the United Bible Societies created the Solidarity Fund during the pandemic. This initiative represented a tangible way to come together to support one another and to strengthen those most affected by the crisis. Amidst these challenges, the Fellowship discerned the need to address some of these global trends that affect Bible ministry and the future of our mission. From humble beginnings born out of the determination and vision of a handful of people dedicated to Bible ministry, United Bible Societies has grown together into a global fellowship. Today, the United Bible Societies continue to uphold the legacy of their founders, a legacy that speaks of resilience, hope, unity, and the transformative power of God's Word. The fellowship has become a tapestry of collaboration, serving together with a singular vision and hope. The Bible for everyone.